The Mitsurugi strategy is the next best deck in Master Duel. And today, big dogs, we're going to be telling you everything you know about... I f***ed up. Today, big dogs, we're going to be telling you everything you need to know about Mitsurugi and how to counter it. Let's go ahead and jump on in. So, here we are with chat. We're going to be talking about a lot of things for Mitsurugi. As you guys already know, I am your teacher, TheCaliEffect, and if you love this type of content, go ahead and subscribe. Recently, I haven't been playing a lot of Master Duel, but I'm so excited to be back and give you guys way more content. Mitsurugi is a reptile-based ritual Yu-Gi-Oh deck that's built on summoning snakes on a plane. And basically, how this deck works is that when these monsters are tributed, either a ritual summon or whatnot, they can bring themselves to the side of the field and have some pretty devastating effects. I'm going to be breaking down all of the cards and how many do players normally play in the TCG, and a lot of this usually transfers over Master Duel. We'll also be talking about deck mixes that you could play these cards in to make them most effective, as well as some well-played counters to be able to stop Mitsurugi. But first, let's talk about the cards. The main monster of the entire deck is not this card. It's actually Ame no Murakumo no Mitsurugi. This card says, if it is summoned, you get to destroy all of your opponent's monsters on the field. Then it says, when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can make them discard a card. Now, the Mitsurugi cards all pretty much have an effect to activate when they are tributed. This one says if it's tributed, you can add one Mitsurugi card from your deck to your hand. This is your main boss monster, and pure Mitsurugi versions typically play 2 copies of this card. Other versions may play 1, as it is one of those devastating cards in the game. It wipes your opponent's board and can force them to discard cards, and if they have no cards, well, it can just straight up negate effects. The other monster that pure builds will tend to play is Futsu no Mitama no Mitsurugi. Of course, these are ritual cards, so they can be summoned with Mitsurugi Ritual. And this card says, if your opponent special summons a monster, you can target one reptile monster in your graveyard, except for itself, and special summon it. Then it says, if it's tributed, you can add one Mitsurugi card from your deck to your hand. If you guys haven't even already caught up, there is a lot of searchability with the ritual monsters. It means that these guys are not only fearsome threats on the field, they also get you resources. And it's one of the biggest reasons why Mitsurugi is one of the strongest decks even in the TCG. The last Mitsurugi ritual monster that we're going to talk about is Ame no Habakiri no Mitsurugi. This card has a once per duel effect, and you will still tend to play 3 copies of this card regardless of what build you're playing. It allows you to be able to special summon one Mitsurugi monster from your deck, then tribute one monster you control. So each ritual monster search when tributed. Yes, they all search when tributed, because when Habakiri is tributed, it allows you to add a Mitsurugi card from your deck to your hand. Oh, I'm sorry. All the ritual monsters also have the effect that when they're tributed, they can special summon themselves. I forgot to tell you that. So they get tributed, they search, they special summon from the graveyard. Of course, you can only special summon them to your side of the field when they are properly ritual summoned. If I tribute these cards in my hand, they weren't properly ritual summoned, they won't come back to the side of the field, but you still will be able to search. You play 3 of this card in pretty much every build, 1 to 2 of this card, 0 to 1 copies of this card. You're going to be doing a lot of ritual summoning and summoning from the graveyard. This is why the deck plays Defissure. They don't care about the graveyard. It's actually crazy that this deck can play cards like Dimension Shifter or Dimensional Fissure to be able to just lock down some graveyard reliant strategies. So that is a thing that you can do. Now the monsters, they're actually very similar to what the ritual monsters do. They're just a little bit lighter in work. Now there's Mitsurugi no Mikoto Kusanagi. This card's actually crazy. All of the little guys, they activate their effects if they're normal summoned, special summoned, or tributed. So there's so many ways to gain their effects. This guy gets a Mitsurugi card from your graveyard to your hand, and then if a reptile monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can tribute this card instead. Now, you're not going to use that second effect often because you're going to be ritual summoning using this card a lot of times, But it's really nice to know that if it is on your field and one of your reptile monsters will be destroyed by card effect, you can tribute this card and gain the effect to be able to add a Mitsurugi card from your graveyard to your hand. Mitsurugi no Mikoto Saji allows you to be able to add one Mitsurugi spell or trap card from your deck to your hand, and then it has the exact same effect. If one of your ritual or reptile monsters will be destroyed by battle or card effect, tribute it instead. Oh man, and bro, we're not even close to what these cards can do that are ridiculous. We have Mitsurugi no Mikoto Arasama. This card allows you to add a Mitsurugi monster from your deck to your hand and has the same effects. There are 6 Mitsurugi cards that all search, which is ridiculous. Because of this, you don't need a lot of the Mitsurugi monsters. Some builds have been playing 1 Mikoto, 1 Arasama, 1 Saji because of how easy it is to get the cards that you need, and I really wouldn't blame you if you guys followed the same route. Regardless though, there's never really a time where you need all 3 of these cards because the deck is so searchable and every card allows you to pretty much get into every single card. Now the last Mitsurugi card I want to talk to you guys about is Mitsurugi no Miko Woso. Now this card is typically played in the pure variants, but it has a really good effect. This is a kaiju for the deck. This card says you can special summon this card by tributing one other reptile from your hand and 1 monster your opponent controls, which is ridiculous, guys. So not only can you potentially trigger the effect of your Mitsurugi monsters, which by the way, if you do them correctly, they dodge cards like Effect Veiler and Infinite Impermanence. Instead of using their summoning effect, you summon them to the side of the field and then tribute them. This also allows you to be able to get rid of your opponent's cards. Now keep in mind, if you use this effect, you can't special summon anything except for reptiles. So that's one of the reasons why players typically not play this. And then if it's tributed, you can discard 1 card to add it to your hand. This card is literally insane in pure builds. It's actually ridiculous. But that's pretty much it for all of the Mitsurugi monsters. The spell and trap cards get even crazier. And let's actually talk about probably one of the strongest spell cards in the game. Mitsurugi Prayers. Tamias, please tell me that this card was limited on release. Please, whatever you do, because this card is insane. When you activate this card, you can tribute any reptile monster from your field or your hand. And it's a quick play. So that means that even if you were summoning a monster like Kusanagi on your side of the field and activate its effect, if your opponent Effect Veilers, you can just chain prayers to tribute off the monster and gain its effects. It allows you to be able to add a Mitsurugi monster from your deck to your hand, and then if you tributed a monster, you can take 800 damage, then special summon 1 Mitsurugi monster from your hand or graveyard. Insane, guys. So look, I want you guys to imagine this. You ritual summoned Ame no Morokomo no Mitsurugi, and you have a prayers face down. You can use this card to tribute off your Ame. You get to search a Mitsurugi monster, special summon a different Mitsurugi monster, then Ame can special summon itself back to the side of the field, search a card, and wipe your opponent's entire board. I don't know what to say, but that sounds one of the most ridiculous things you can ever ask for. And keep in mind, you don't have to tribute a reptile monster to get both or to get either effect. You can activate prayers without tributing a monster, but you can only get 1 effect with prayers. The next card is another ridiculously busted Mitsurugi card. Mitsurugi Ritual. This card allows you to be able to ritual summon 1 reptile monster by either tributing monsters from the hand to ritual summon from the deck, or tributing monsters from the deck to be able to ritual summon from the hand. This is one of the most busted ritual cards in the existence of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it literally says it's Shaddoll Fusion without being Shaddoll Fusion. It's the stupidest card to exist. Also, keep in mind, if you add a card like Morokomo in hand, you can tribute a monster like Kasunugi and Saji to have a summon Morokomo, wipe your opponent's board, add a Mitsurugi card in your graveyard to your hand, and search a spell. Can you Ash Blossom the ritual spell, summoning from hand? No. No, there's nothing about it that says send to the graveyard. It's tributing. This deck is stupid. All right. Next are the other spell cards, because the other spell cards are not bad. Prayers is normally played of as a 3 of inside of the deck, and Ritual is normally played as a 1 of inside of variants. Next is Mitsurugi Magatama. This card is normally a 1 of in pure builds. This card says tribute 1 reptile monster. Keep in mind, these cards all gain effects when tributed, right? Target 1 face-up card your opponent controls destroyed. And then it also allows you to be able to ritual summon a Ritual or Mitsurugi monster by tributing monsters you control. So not only is this card a free pop, which can trigger your Mitsurugis, it's also a ritual summon potentially on your opponent's turn. Now, you can only get 1 effect, but the fact that you actually get interruption or a free ritual summon is stupid. The next card is Mitsurugi Mirror. This card can be used to ritual summon any reptile monster. But the best thing about this card is that it mentions the monsters Habakiri, Murakumo, and Matama. And the reason why we say that that's important is simply because pre-preparation of rights needs you to be able to have the virtual monster and ritual card mention the card's name. So that's the reason why this card is so freaking powerful. And it can also shuffle itself into the deck, making sure that pre-preparation of rights is typically never dead. Pure builds normally play 1, other builds don't play any. Next, we have the continuous spell card. This card is normally not played in any Mitsurugi decks, and it's simply because you already gained so much advantage, you don't need any of these effects. This card's actually not that good. Next is Mitsurugi Tempest. This card seems really strong too, but typically also isn't played because you need all 3 of the monsters on your field and the spell card in the graveyard. Which, if you're already normally getting that far, you're winning. Like, if you have all 3 on the field, you already won. Their last card, Mitsurugi Great Purification. When your opponent activates a card or effect, tribute 1 level 5 or higher reptile monster, negate that effect, and then destroy it. So yes, they have a searchable Solemn Strike, right? It's funny that Konami has a bug already with Tempest, so someone's used it. That's insane if they're actually playing that card. You can manage this card from your graveyard, target 1 reptile monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and if you do, tribute 1 other monster you control. So those are all the Mitsurugi cards. I'm confident you guys are saying this deck is busted. It is as advertised. It's ridiculous. With no restrictions, there's actually quite a few decks that you can play Mitsurugi in that are very dominant. The first one is the obvious one. Players were playing Mitsurugi Raizio on the TCG, and there's not really much to stop us from playing it in Master Duel. In fact, Tamias helped me out here. Is King of Feral Imps banned? Feral Imps is legal? Oh no, brother. No, brothers, what are we doing? That's kind of a shame. Out of one tier 0 format and potentially into another. Another really good card deck for Mitsurugi is Galatea or Orcus, right? And the reason why Orcus is good with Mitsurugi is because while Raizio is hittable through Dimensional Barrier, we'll talk about cards good against the deck in a second, Orcus does not. When you Dimensional Barrier and call Ritual, Orcus can just play Ritual decks. So that's the reason why Orcus is pretty good. And also the new support with Orcus is fairly strong. The last strategy, and players are going to start doing this because they're gooners. I'm giving you guys the heads up. Mitsurugi mount. If I'm being honest with you, Mitsurugi can be mixed with anything. There's no restrictions to the deck. There's nothing to stop you from playing Mitsurugi Malice. Hell, there's nothing from stopping you guys from playing Mitsurugi Infernal, okay? The deck is just that abusable. As long as you have the main deck space, you can pretty much play Mitsurugi in it, which I think is going to be very, very, very complicated. I was going to make Megalith Mitsurugi, and it's very possible because the Mitsurugi cards don't restrict you. Now let's talk about some counters. Because while things don't look great, all hope is not lost. What's a really good counter for Mitsurugi? Well, Droll Lockbird's actually pretty freaking strong, right? Droll Lockbird is strong, especially in Mitsurugi variants, because if a player leads with their opening combo, more often than not a search card with their regular deck, then Droll Lockbird punishes them severely. Oftentimes, Droll Lockbird can be a turn skip if played right. So Droll is probably mandatory in this deck. Ghost Bell is insane against them. And what Ghost Bell should be insane against is not necessarily their opening play. You want to use it when they use Mitsurugi Ritual to special summon, or they're probably trying to bring back Murakumo to wipe your board. It's a ridiculous card. Another card that is also decently strong against them, though I'm not sure if it'll see meta play, Skullmeister is ridiculous. Like, this card's crazy. Skullmeister is crazy against them simply because it prevents effects in graveyards. What about DD Crow? DD Crow is also an effective card against them. DD Crow can banish a lot of their pieces, but keep in mind, they'll be getting their effects to search and stuff like that because you didn't negate the effect, you just changed the location of the card. Lastly, Dimensional Barrier is good against a lot of variants of Mitsurugi, simply because the pure version, obviously you can't ritual summon, that's tough for them. It's good against Ryziel, and it's good against a lot of other things. What about Thunder Dragon Colossus? Thunder Dragon Colossus could be strong against them, but Mitsurugi Thunder Dragon is also a potential thing that Mitsurugi can play. The thing about this deck is that it's a limitless opportunity type deck, and for it not to be massive, kind of crazy. So Tamaya says you can absolutely go Mitsurugi, make Banshee, add Pyro, and it adds a corridor. I almost forgot to say, this deck is crazy good at making rank 4s. So this card is really, really good, right? It can search Archnemesis Protos. Like you guys said, Corridor can make Thunder Dragon Colossus. Did Fossil Down Apache Cephalo get banned? This card's also really, really good. It can search rock monsters. This card is very searchable. This deck does not need its normal summon. They can just normal summon it. And it is at 1. Like, you only need 1 copy. So that's also a pretty toxic thing that the deck can do. Any rank 4 is pretty much at the deck's disposal. So do with that information you will. You go full Mitsurugi combo, then search Fossil Dyna and normal summon it. Is it Mitsurugi stun? No, it's Mitsurugi. But now you have a Fossil Dyna. Some of the strongest decks in Yu-Gi-Oh, guys, are not decks that do all of these crazy combos. It's decks that do all of these crazy combos and then have something really unfair. Like how Necros had Jinlock, right? Or like how Dragon Rulers had Vanity's Emptiness. This is the exact same thing. Now, guys, we've talked everything you needed to know about Mitsurugi. Let me know what you guys are thinking about Mitsurugi. What are you using to counter it? What do you think about the deck if you're going to be playing the deck? I think in the future we'll start having sample builds. Maybe that's something we'll visit. Let me know down below in the comment section, and I can't wait to see what you have to say.